And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome back to an episode of Modded Minecraft. Okay, what are we working on today? We're working on some more gendistry. All right. So we already got ourselves our little, what's it called? Right, machine thing. The mutation producer. Whatever that thing's called. All right. We're just going to look up gendistry. Now, what we want to work on next is an item. Let's see. Where are you? Ah, the mutatron. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. So we're going to need some bee receptacles. Let's look at this. All right. Let's take a quick gander here. So there's the mutatron, the advanced mutatron. So we'll do the mutatron first. So we need another sturdy casing. All right. Let me just go mutatron because that's just going to be easier. There we go. Mutatron. Sturdy casing. We're going to need 3 of these bee receptacles. Oh, Minecraft music. Oh, did we just run out of bronze? There we go. All right, what else are we going to need? We're going to need a genetics process. Ooh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so we have a new thing to work on. Yay. Great. All right. We need a pulsating chipset from Beast Buildcraft. All right, that's going to be an issue. Well, not that much. What we're going to need to get is an assembly table. All right. Assembly table. We're going to need a diamond gear, which means we need to go get a wood gear, a stone gear. I know, I haven't really done much with Buildcraft. An iron gear. A gold gear. Achievement get. No, it isn't made of honey. And a diamond gear. Shiny, yay. And then we just need some redstone and obsidian to get ourselves an assembly table. Okay, then we need to get ourselves some lasers. All right, and we will be using Buildcraft gates. So let's get 1, 2, 3. Tingly laser. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shove this downstairs just for right now because that's going to be easiest. So let's get ourselves a chest. And let's get ourselves a... we just really need the chest, actually. And actually let me turn down my music a little bit here. There we go. I'm recording with Fraps, so I can't really edit the difference between my sound and the game sound. Okay. Let's just throw it down here. So we put the assembly table down. And then we're going to go down, down. No. Let's do yoink. Let's go down, over, over. Okay. And then we'll just put the lasers right up like this. Okay? And we'll put the torch back down here and torch down over here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our chest and we're just going to plop it down right there. Okay? Okay. And then we needed those pulsating chipsets. Now, if I look up the mutatron... Oh, tell me NEI just didn't derp out on me. If you double click, it derps out on you sometimes. Yep, it derped out on me. All right, so I'll be right back. The only way to fix this is to exit out and reopen. All right, so now that the crash has been fixed, you can see we are now producing ourselves some pulsating chipsets. This also means that unfortunately I won't have enough time to finish the episode in one sitting because I'll have to go to work because we had a bit of a weird crash that I had to resolve. So, but we can at least talk about the mutator machine thing. There we go. Mutatron, okay. So we're also going to need a mutagen tank, which is pretty easy to get. And do we need any more? No. Okay, good. So let's look at this. All right, so we need a power module now. Okay, so let's look up... There we go. I could have sworn I taught you. Yeah, I did. Oh, it's Tinkers. All right, so let's get... 2 of you. Start. And how does this go again? I'm always forgetting how these power modules actually work. Okay, so we need 4 of those and 2 pistons. All right. So we'll get... two more. And 2 pistons. All right. So that'll get us a power module. Mutatron. Okay. So we have 1 power module. If I shift-click this in, all we need is that. Okay. Then I'm going to need another power module. So, and another, so we need 8 gears total. Okay. Boy, don't you guys love applied energistics? 8 gears total. We're going to need some more pistons. Okay. And then if I look at the Mutatron once again. Advanced Mutatron. We're going to need 2 of those genetics processors. Okay. And that's pretty simple. All right, so we need 3 of those genetics processors in total. That's not too bad, actually. How are you guys doing over here? So what the Mutatron does is it allows us to basically force the mutation of bees, okay? And the way this basically works is that bees can mutate. And to get a new species of bee, what you do is you put 2 different species bees together, so a drone of one species and a queen of another, and see what comes out the other side. Well, we're not going to do that. That takes a while, there's a lot of random chance, and I honestly don't like doing it. It ends up taking a lot of time, and for a YouTube series, it means that I have to play this game a lot off camera. Okay? And while I love Minecraft, doing bee mutations is my least favorite thing I can possibly do. So we're going to throw down the Mutatron, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Click, click. Okay? And we're going to throw down the Mutatron right like that. Awesome. Then what we're going to do, well, we actually may want to give it a little bit more space than that. Actually, no. Okay, here's what we'll do. I know, I'm being indecisive again. So sue me. Do I have any tanks laying around here? I have a reinforced portable tank. Do I have any fluid conduits? Yes, I do. Awesome. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take our reinforced portable tank. We're just going to shove it on the top there. And click it over. Okay? And actually what this means is I can move this and this. And we'll just put this right here then. Okay. Then we'll take our reinforced portable tank, throw it on top, and set it into output mode. All right. And then we'll take our fluid conduits and do that. Okay? Okay. Oh. Okay. Apparently they automatically share fluid. I'd forgotten about that. Never mind then. All right. So the Mutatron, what the Mutatron does is the Mutatron will take 2 bees, pick a bee, any bee, and it'll force mutate them and guarantee you that they will at least mutate. Okay? But to do this, we're going to need something called labware. Now, labware isn't too bad. It takes a little diamond, but not that much. Okay, it's 1 diamond per 16. So every time you mutate a bee, you use up a 16th of a diamond. You also use up some mutagen, okay? And mutagen, as we know, is important. Right, okay. Glad we can all agree on that. And so we're just going to run down here. All the way down here. Oh, bees, bees everywhere. Okay, you're going. So what I want to do is I want to grab a forced drone, right? And I want to grab a princess of some sort. Well, just in case. Actually, which one of you guys are closest to being done? I want to find one that's almost done. Okay, so we'll take out the automation upgrade. All right. And what that'll let me do is that will cause the bee to die off once it's done processing, basically. Good. All right, so we have that taken care of. Now what we need to do is we need to open this guy up. And do I have a princess of some sort laying around? I have a water princess, but I kind of don't want to use a water princess in case some of the traits get inherited. We haven't talked about traits yet, but we will, all right? As soon as we get this mutation thing done, we'll go and we'll talk about traits. Because traits are important. Traits are incredibly important, actually. You'll be done eventually, maybe? Oh, and we're running out of power. Yeah, right. Okay. These machines eat a tremendous amount of power, so much so that we are going to have to upgrade our power system at some point. They honestly, it's probably running my entire base out of power right now. These are requiring 23.2 RF per tick, which is actually quite a lot if I think about it. So we're going to need to start working on something else for the next episode to kind of boost our power output. Facade chocolate sprinkle cake. Okay, Buildcraft. That's a new one, I'm pretty certain. But you can see all of the princesses here. There are a lot of them, okay? And what we'll also need to do, that reminds me about what we'll be doing for the next step. Interesting. Oh, it's from Harvest Craft. That's why. Okay. All right, so now we're waiting, basically. Okay, that's an imprinter, by the way. That's a way of cheating yourself, all the bee species. Although some people will say that, you know, gendistry bees are kind of cheaty. Gendistry machines are kind of cheaty as well. But I like them, you know. I like them. They're useful. They're useful. All right, computer. Give me that last bee tick, will ya? One more bee tick. One more. Come on. Come on. Come on. There are upgrades to speed this up, by the way. There we go. All right. It just gave me the error, no princess. Awesome. And we should have ended up with the princess in here. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go upstairs. And let me also grab a Meadows drone while I'm at it. All right. So let's bounce upstairs and let's see what we're doing. Now, the cool thing is that, yes, this makes it a whole lot easier to mutate up these bees. The downside is it's going to eat a monstrous amount of power. All right, so I'm going to just throw the Meadows Princess in the top and a Forest Drone in the bottom. And this thing's going to run. And it's going to eat some mutagen. And it's going to eat a lot of power. Okay? A ridiculous amount of power. And it's going to think, and it's going to run, and it's going to think, and it's going to run. And eventually, it's going to give us a queen. A common queen. Common queen? Yes, a common queen. And actually, I want to pick up a couple upgrades while I'm over here, just to make my life a little bit easier. Namely, what we want is... It should be around here somewhere. Ah, the lifespan upgrade. Yes. Ooh, I need fermented spider eyes. Can I... Okay. Well, apparently we won't be doing that. So what I'm going to be doing off camera for a few minutes is letting this bee process down here in my gendistry room and just kind of letting it run and seeing how it goes. Let's take out these Meadows drones and put that in there. Put the Meadows drone. Okay, they are not stacking. I apparently must have two different lines of drones running around. All right, so we'll take the beeswax. Beeswax. We have plenty of honey drops, as you guys can see. Yay, beeswax. And I'm just going to run down to here because, of course, creosote oil shenanigans. We're still trying to store all the creosote oil we're getting, as you guys can no doubt see. And this room is wicked noisy, isn't it? All right, so let's pull that open. Let's get our crafty table out. And we can go like that. And like that. And get ourselves a whole bunch of canisters. And that should store a fair more amount of stuff, allowing these guys to run, which allows my generators to run. It's not the most efficient system in the world, I'll admit, but it is useful. And are you guys even running? Oh yeah, you are. Plenty of fuel in there. We could actually upgrade these guys, because you're right now producing 40 burn rate. We could go all the way up, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 40. Okay. Which is 6 times 4. Which is 24. So, 240 RF per tick. We need more power. All right. Best way of doing that? Give me 5 more of these, will ya? Oh, we're missing the glowstone. We need to do that. Okay. So, we'll have to wait to do that in the future. So what I'll do between this episode, well, during the break, is let that run. And also just do a little bit of resource harvesting, because apparently we need to do that. This thing's filling up, which should hopefully stop draining my entire system. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. I suspect what's actually happening is that I'm hitting the power limit on... Yeah. Because, see, that isn't completely drained out because the... Yep, 640 out because these energy conduits have a max of 640. So we may deal with that, if not in this episode, then in the episode after. We may also deal with that, actually. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Or we start dealing with that. That's going to be a fairly extensive build project. All right, guys, so I will be back in a few minutes. And we're back, guys. All right, so I did not end up doing the work that I was planning on doing off camera because, well, you know, yeah, all right. I just didn't. I didn't have the time. I ended up going out with some friends because I do enjoy having a social life on occasion. On occasion. It doesn't get to happen much, but, you know, it does happen. All right, genetics processor, we can get our second, the one that we need, and then we can get ourselves our advanced mutatron. Okay, advanced mutatron. Make it. No, we need the mutatron back, too. Hold on. Mutatron back in our hands. Okay, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, so let's put the mutatron in here. We get ourselves an advanced mutatron. Now, the nice thing about the advanced mutatron is that the advanced mutatron actually, you get to pick. And, of course, that wasted crap. Okay. Darn it. Let's get ourselves another block of uranium. Not like we don't have a goodly sized amount of it. Okay, so we'll just chuck this guy in here. He's going to cook down, and we'll get that in our advanced mutatron. And, of course, drain pretty much our entire power network. Hip, hip, hooray. Okay, so now that that's done, which is good, good. Double plus good, in fact. Yes, references, references, references. Okay, so we have plenty of bee crap being produced, which I'm glad to hear. We can clear that. Now, let's also look at what else we have available in Gendustry. All right. We have the DNA extractor, okay, the genetic replicator, genetic transposer, imprinter, mutagen producer, mutatron, okay. So let's go with the genetic sampler, I think. Oh, perfect, okay. So we're going to need 8 of you. And we're also going to need a pair of pistons, of course. We always need pistons. And we can get ourselves that Tinker's gears. And we can get ourselves the genetic sampler. Okay. Now we also need a bee thingy-majigger. Oh, we're out of bronze. Look at that. Let's get ourselves 64 bronze. And we're going to need another one of these. Okay. So now we can get ourselves that sampler. Okay. Or at least we get part of it. So we need, let's see, what do we not have? All right. So we need the genetics processor, which is cool because we can make that right away. We need the bee receptacle. That's cool. We got that right away. And we also need a sturdy casing. We got that. And we get ourselves a genetic sampler. Now, what the genetic sampler does is that it takes, ploink, it takes bees and it pulls out some of their traits. Okay. And what do we mean by it pulls out some of their traits? Well, what it basically does, you're filled with water. Okay, good. Is that it takes a trait, and every bee has a series of traits. And we're going to actually look at that right now. So let's look at the Beealyzer. That's the carpenter. Okay. So we need to make ourselves a carpenter. Carpenters are kind of forestry's crafting machine. And some of them require water. Okay, so we'll need another sturdy casing, at least. And what's good is that we actually have a space where we can hook this thing up. All right, and then I needed some tin. glass panes. I think I needed a pair of redstone and another diamond. Yeah, this episode we're really chewing through that diamond supply I have, right? Okay, so we can pull this guy out and pull this guy out. Oh, good. We already have power and water right there. Good. All right. So diamond. And if you notice, this actually uses that kind of shadow crafting mechanic. So we put that in there. And then we put all the materials in the bottom. And it's going to make us a beealyzer. Awesome. Very, very, very awesome. All right, let's open this guy up. And let's get ourselves some honey drops. Of which we have more than a couple. So this guy's going to craft up, and it takes a little time for him to craft, and that's quite all right. You know, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. And any second now, he's going to finish crafting. There we go. All right, so let's go find ourselves a bee or two. All right. Actually, let me come back in a second. All right, so why don't we now take a look at this? All right, so we open this up, right? All right, so we're going to drop in. We have to put some honey drops in. And then we want to analyze this common. All right? Common, lifespan shorter, production speed. So lifespan's how long the bee's going to last. The production speed is what it's going to produce, all right, or how fast it produces. Pollination is how fast it either grows flowers or pollinates trees. Flower type is what type of flower it needs. So this one needs actual flowers. And the fertility is how many drones it produces every time the queen dies. All right, territory is the relative size of A, where it'll pollinate, and B, where its effects will take place. An effect is what effect it has. So far, we have not gotten any bees that have any effects on them. But, you know, we will. Don't worry. All right, so we got a common, and we analyzed them. All right, so now let's run upstairs. And let's also, while we're at it... Oh, good. Goody, good, good. Perfect. Okay. So we got our Rocky drones, too. Rockies have some great traits, by the way. There was a page it didn't show you, okay? If I put them on 2, you can see climate, normal, temperature, up, down, both. So they have their preferred temperature, and then they can go up or down from that, okay? And then you have their humidity tolerance, how tolerant they are of humidity, up, down, both. So diurnal, nocturnal, tolerant, and cave, those are also cool. What those mean is diurnal, they operate during the day. Nocturnal, they operate at night. Tolerant flyer, they can fly during storms, rain, and cave dwelling means that they don't need to see the sky. So these bees don't need any of those upgrades that our other bees do, which makes them great because we can get those traits off of them. The problem is we can get those traits off of them, but yeah, it's going to be difficult to do that, all right? That's because the bees... there are some issues with it, basically. Bees are great, and the issue of getting the traits off of them is when we use that trait extractor machine, it actually eats the bee. It destroys the bee. We don't get the bee back, okay? There is no more bee. So what we want to do is get more of them. But if you look at them, they have a low fertility. Fertility of 1. What don't have a fertility of 1 are meadows bees, okay? So what we can do is we can chuck this guy into the genetic sampler. We can get some of this labware out because we don't need it right in this second. And then we need a sample container, okay? We need a blank gene sample. And that's just some tin around some redstone. Nice, right? Right. Okay, so let's get that tin. And let's get that redstone as well, because that will be wicked helpful for us. All right. Ooh, I didn't want to get that many. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, and then we also want to get ourselves a chest, because we will be getting a lot of these samples. Because sample extraction is actually... what's the word? Random. Thank you. Random. So we want to go to extract, active without signal. This guy will go to insert. Okay. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chuck these blank gene samples in here. And he's going to start sampling those bees, okay? And what we want to do is we want to get that fertility trait, or we want to get at least 2 of those fertility traits off of him. All right, so let's see. We got fertility 2. Well then. That was easy. That was very, very easy. What did I get off that? Tolerant, fly, or false. So that's useless, all right? We would never want to give a bee tolerant, fly, or false. What we can do, however, is we can take that sample and chuck it into a furnace. It'll cook it down, and we'll get that blank gene sample back, okay? So nothing's wasted. Now, if we look at Gendustry, what we can also get is... come on. Oh, gosh, I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the replicator. Yes, it is, but we need a lot more research than that. Need more resources. Item ejection cover. Oh, that's cool. Oh, so I can make them and put them on the... Ooh, that's cool. That's really, really cool. Okay. Oh, and a scoop that doesn't blow up on me every time I use it. That would be awesome, too. Now, what we can then do here is we can make... Oh, do we just want to make the genetic replicator? Yeah, we just want to make the replicator. Forget it. We're just going to make the bloody replicator. Okay, so... Replicator. Genetic replicator. We need 2 more of these genetics processors, which means that I need some ender pearls and some redstone. We're going to need to get ourselves some more ender pearls, but that's neither here nor there. So we're just going to pop downstairs and throw it in. And just a side note for you guys, if you're running an outdated version, you get a crash every time you run these lasers. Just update your mods. It's most likely going to be an issue with the Buildcraft. With a Buildcraft API that's out of date in one of your mods, that'll cause the whole thing to kind of go herg and crash out on you. So just a fair warning for you guys there. And we can throw away the marble, and we can throw away the cobblestone. And right. Okay, good. So what we want to do now is we want to take that, we want to get 2 of those samples, okay? And that also means we're going to need a genetic imprinter as well. Okay, imprinter. So we're going to need, all right, so let's get out another piece of redstone. I really need to go mining, I know. And another ender pearl. Okay. And by the way, for you guys who are wondering, the main reason I'm not going in on producing going for a quarry is because I find that quarries can get... We don't need 3 of them, actually. 2 of them would be fine. I just realized that. Because we get 2 of those per, so we'll have 1 extra. Sorry. I have a KSP install going next to me, so I'm like, what is going on with my ship? Okay, so we'll get those in a couple seconds. Let's drop that up there. Let's drop that in there. Okay, what else do we need? Let's take a look at the replicator. Okay, and so we're going to need 4, 8, 12 of those, right? And then let's look at the imprinter. So we need another 8, so I need 20 gears. Yeah, I need 20 gears. Okay. So let's look at the replicator. I'm going to need also 2 sturdy casings. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Do I have the... Yeah, okay, plenty. All right, so let's look back at the imprinter. Okay. So I'm going to need 2 sturdy casings. I'm going to need some of these more of these bee receptacles. I'm going to need... Oh, right. We need some pistons. Aren't these things great? Okay, and then if we go back to look at the replicator. All right, so I'm going to need 2 genetics processors. I already have my power modules. I need 2 genetics processors. Okay, so let's see if that crap downstairs is finished cooking up for me yet. It's going, but it's going pretty quick, though, which is what I like to see. All right, so we already have 2 of them. We'll get another 2 in a couple seconds. Perfect. Should be plenty of time for us to finish crafting and setting these things up and blowing up my power system as well. I really need to get started on that next episode. It's becoming silly how much I need to get started with that on the next episode. Okay, so we can take these and throw these in here. We go for the... genetics processors. And then we can go for the replicator. Genetic replicator. Nice. All right, so let's chunk this guy down and see what we need to do. Boom. Oh, crap. Right. Oh, this is the wrong bloody machine, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, we'll get to that in the future. That's a way to make bees. We needed the transposer. Crud. All right, well, you know what? That's neither here nor there. Let's actually just chunk these guys in here. And whenever we get a second one of those machines, we will see how that works. So that's going to go... What's that? Oh, genetic waste. Oh, that's what happens if you really, really, really mess up a bee. No temperature tolerance. Fertility 2. I can't believe I did that. That was so stupid of me. That was so stupid of me to build that. All right. This is what happens when Kess forgets to check the wiki before he plays the game. All right. This month? No. All right. That's fine. That's fine. And my power network's probably screaming at me, too. Because I'm not producing nearly enough to do this. All right. So I need my imprinter back, right? And I just need that genetics processor, which I'm waiting on right now. All right, so let's check up on how these guys are doing over here. Now, there are all sorts of fun things you can do with bees. Oh, good. We got another fertility 2. Beautiful. Yoink. Okay, fertility 2, fertility 2. Awesome. We will need both of those, okay? I was going to show you how to duplicate them, but I'll show you in the future how to do that. It's not a big deal. You basically take the transposer and you put a blank pattern in, all right? 2 of those. Is it the transposer or the imprinter? I don't remember now, but we'll find out. Okay, imprinter. We need the genetics processor. Blonk. And then we need one of these. Yoink. All right, and we have some power conduits on us. That's good. And we can actually just throw this guy down right here. Perfect. Okay. So we need a little bit more labware, which is not too hard to get, of course. And what we can do is we can open up the labware. We can throw that in there. Let's get 32 of it because it's useful. Okay. So now we're going to chuck the labware in. We're going to chuck a gene sample, fertility 2. Right. Oh, game. You just love to troll me, don't you? The game loves to troll me because we need a... Right. Gendustry. I forget you can't go straight from the samples. Right. Okay, power module. Where are you? Come on. You're over here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Genetic template. Pretty easy to make. Bloink. Okay. And can I do this? I think I can, can't I? Yes. Okay. So what you can do is you can put them in the crafting table and you get a genetic template. Can be applied to a bee, fertility 2. Awesome. And now I have my blank gene sample. And now I can go to my imprinter, chuck you in there, and then chuck you in there. And you're going to run and eat up a bunch of power on me. Okay? Just huge amounts of power. Okay? Oh, right. They have the colored combs. I forgot they added the colored combs to Gendustry. To get dyes, basically. Okay, so that's running slowly but surely. And you can actually see all the fun upgrades we have from Gendustry over here. You know, humidifier, plains emulation, automation, jungle emulation. So what you can do is you can put in these emulation upgrades and it does a biome override instead of doing what I've been doing. All right, so... That's cool. Okay. Instead of doing what I've been doing, which is actually just changing the temperatures, you can do a full-on biome override, especially for the bees that require a specific upgrade. Okay. You also have a genetic stabilizer, which is useful for some stuff that I'll show you in the nearby future. Okay. So how are we doing here? Not too shabby, of course. We're just waiting on this to cook up, and we're waiting for the second bee to cook up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take those bees, put them together, and get a bunch of drones from them. All right. What we can do in the meantime is check out our advanced mutatron. So if I chuck in this princess, and I chuck in a meadows drone, you can see that I can actually select what bee I want. And here I want the cultivated queen. I'm like, what's the name of the bee again? Cultivated. So we're going to click the button. And that's going to run nice and fast. And we get ourselves a cultivated queen. Beautiful, right? Right. And we can chuck the cultivated queen into one of our apiaries down here and get a whole bunch of bees from it. Yay, bees. And hopefully get a whole bunch of drones that go with said bees. All right, so what we'll do, we'll take out the meadows queen. We'll take out the meadows drones. We'll chuck you in there for right now. We'll chuck you in here for right now. We'll put the cultivated queen in there. And if we look at the uses for the cultivated, you can see the cultivated is basically the base for every other bee we have. Okay. Bee breeding, we get diligent, slippery, we could get bee production. Honeycomb, 40%, yay. The other nice thing about the cultivateds is if you notice, they have fast worker. There are bees that are faster, there aren't many. So that's a great bee to get early on and get your traits, because we need to build kind of a super template for our bees here. You know, something awesome that we can do a lot with. All right. So while that's cooking, the princess is done. And that doesn't get used up. I was thinking of another mod. I was thinking of extra bees, I think, is the mod that does most of that. If you notice, it takes a lot less power and energy to do a drone than it does to do one of the princesses. Okay. So you can see we should have a princess. You may have to rescan them, but yep, 2 times. Perfect. So we can chuck her in one of our automated apiaries and just get a whole bunch of bees. We can process them and get all of the good traits off of them, which is something I'm really looking forward to doing and getting that set up and running properly. So let's take a couple seconds. We now have a Rocky drone. We run his genome ×2. They're both the same now, so we won't have to worry about their genetics changing or mutating. I'm not getting too into the genetics of how the details of how bee genetics work, because that just is not my cup of tea. I know genetics, I know my Punnett swears, but I just don't want to deal with it, basically. There's a certain point I reach where I'm like, I just don't want to deal with this today. All right, so one of these guys, you're running. I'm waiting for that bee to die, actually. And once that's done, we can get going. Actually, what I can just do is I could just do this. Okay. And that'll be nice and simple. Actually, you know what we'll do for right now? We'll let you run out, and we'll chuck you into here. Because you should have all the good traits still. And you should still be running. All right, so you can see humidity's normal. Yeah. Humidity, normal, temperature, cold. So that's why we're having a little bit of issues with our bees. But I think I've run well past the episode wrap-up. So, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank y'all for watching. Hopefully, in the next episode, we'll get either our power situation sorted out or something sorted out. I'm thinking right now it's going to be our power situation. The more I consider what's going on, the more I'm thinking, yeah, I think our power situation is what I need to deal with right now. Okay, guys. So this has been Mr. Kassarian. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode.